Today I'll be talking about reproduction. Well, first off, what is reproduction? Reproduction is a biological process by which new individual organisms, aka offspring, are produced from their parents. Reproduction is also a fundamental feature of all known life. Each individual organism exists as a result of reproduction. Well, there are two ways things can reproduce, and that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual, it only involves one parent or one organism, and as a result, the offspring are genetically identical to the parent or to each other. Asexual, it also takes less time, and there is no genetic variation, as I said before. Asexual reproduction involves a process called binary fission, and that is where prokaryotes literally split into two, and in the process, and many single-celled eukaryotic organisms like protists do this too. Budding is another type of asexual reproduction. A very small plant called the hydra, as you can see right there, it basically can reproduce by budding. They basically just bud an identical offspring right off themselves, kind of like strawberries. I mean, they might not be identical, but it involves only one parent, and it just makes a little baby, as you can see. And potatoes, you can basically just plant a potato in the ground, and it makes more potatoes. So that's another example of asexual reproduction. Sexual, well, here's a picture of binary fission. Sexual reproduction is basically where there is more than two parents or two individuals involved. There is genetic variation, so if you have a white mom with blonde hair and a white dad with red hair, then one of their children might be blonde and one of their children might be redheaded. So that's kind of an example. There's always variation. I mean, there might not be, but there usually is. And technical definition of sexual reproduction is when two gametes, and if you don't know what two gametes are, they're basically just a sperm and the egg cell from the male and female. It's basically when two gametes join together in a fusion process known as fertilization to create a zygote, which is a precursor to an embryo offspring, taking half the DNA from each of his parents and giving it to their kid. This is basically kind of like a little diagram of sexual reproduction. As I said before, two gametes join together from the male and female, egg, sperm. They come together to create the zygote, which is a precursor to the embryo offspring. And like I said, it's a fertilization fusion, and voila. But, that's basically all I have, and I hope that I taught you something. Goodbye.